What's up, my beautiful, sexy people? I want to talk to you guys about getting high-end clients off of LinkedIn. And if you guys have ever used LinkedIn, you know it's a little bit higher end for offline businesses than, say, the old Facebook or the Instagrams. That isn't to say there aren't people who are on both, but man, you want to get the top people, they're almost always in local businesses on the LinkedIn, especially in professional kind of niches where they network with each other there. So let's get into how to do that. LinkedIn. So I got a few clients, by the way, that off of LinkedIn that have paid me $100,000, and that does not suck when a client pays you six figures. You don't need a whole lot of those to move the needle. And how do you get people off of LinkedIn? Now there's a lot of ways to do it. I see a lot of people doing direct message. I'm going to tell you my preferred way of doing it. And I'm not saying this is the only way of doing it, but man, does it work well. Which is to join the groups where your people already network, and then to post case studies of results you have created. And by the way, I know some of you are out there saying, well, I'm just getting started. I don't have a case study. I don't have to prove that my stuff works. And you, if you're thinking that, would be incorrect. Use as many case studies as you got, but you don't need to use your own. In fact, when I first started, one of the things I was like, for example, was considering a new offer doing referrals for lawyers. And I talked to a few lawyers who were getting referrals and said, I could do that for other people. I could replicate that system. There's my Heidi B running naked in the water towards her papa. But what I didn't do, or what I didn't have, was actual people that I could showcase that I had done this for. So I simply reached out to a few lawyers and said, hey, I love what you're doing with referrals. I would love to interview you. Do you think we could spend 10 minutes and just go over what's working for you, what you did, what kind of results you can get? Heidi B, say hello. Hello. You got the old sand on the face. So, what does that mean for you? It means you don't necessarily need to wait for a case study. You just need to find somebody who's actually getting that result in the same way. So like, for example, let's just say you were in the dieting space. I know you guys aren't, but just, go with me for a second here. Imagine that your shtick was the raw food diet. Well, all you got to do is find somebody who's lost a bunch of weight with the raw food diet and say, hey, I'd love to interview. I'd love to share what your secret is, because I think a lot of people could benefit. And at the end of that little video or written piece of content, you just tack on a little, if you'd like us to do this for you, go here. But what's really, really key is you want to showcase a result that was achieved, not a process. Well, a lot of people talk about, like, hey, how to use Twitter, how to use blogging. Those are processes. Nobody's really interested in that. If I can pull clients out of blogging or clients out of Twitter, that's a very different thing, right? How I got 7 clients and $100,000 off of Twitter is far more exciting than how to tweet. 7 ways to create content on Twitter, right? So very, very key with your case study. You must showcase a result. People want results. Secondly, is different than, by the way, these waves are really bitching today. This is normally a really calm area of the Sea of Cortez here, but the waves today are not super calm, and it's wonderful. So, second thing, sorry I lost my train of thought for a second. I'm glad you guys are still with me. High five. Triple fist bump there. Is the difference between a testimonial and a case study is that you use it as a teaching example. So this is the difference, okay? A testimonial says, hey, I would use Frankie's referral system and I would highly recommend and endorse them. They got me results, you should use them too. And people can see through that salesmanship. The difference is with a case study, you would say something like, hey, we weren't getting any referrals, and so we tried these 3 things. 2 of them didn't work, but this one thing worked really well, and then we kept doing it and building on it, and eventually we were able to build our law practice in 7 figures. Here's what we did. Here's what we tried. Here are the things that worked. Here are the things that didn't work. That's a case study, by the way. So you want to take your results and turn them into teaching examples, and what you will find, it all kind of just magically happens on its own. People want results, and they'll be drawn to it, and it sells without selling. So that's it. You go into a LinkedIn group, and rather than trying to chase people onesie, twosies with all these private messages, which works for different things, man, it's just far more efficient to like join a group where they already are, slap up a case study, and say, if you want these results, call me. And you might have to post a couple and tell you like you just magically did something the first time, but just slap up 5 to 10 case studies, showcase results. I promise you, you will not, even in all this crazy corona restricted, all this bullshit world, because people are always hungry for results, especially if you got some new and exciting way of getting it. So that's all I got for you guys in this video. I'd love to share your experiences with LinkedIn below. Drop us a comment. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe or you're a terrible person. May the force be with you. I can see some beach butt, so I'm gonna go. I want to bite it. My baby's butt makes me want to. All right, so that's all I got for you guys. And may the force be with you.